Hi Gunners, we're playing our last game in Asia tomorrow against Tottenham. Make sure you watch live on arsenal.com.
There is an overwhelming amount of love and support in the stadium tonight. Do you have any messages for the fans who have come out here to cheer them on?
Make a lot of noise, because those guys need. They give me also to give you something special, a good game, and as you just make a lot of noise, but enjoy the match as much as you can, and also keep your support. It's so important for them. But Saka is by far from the UK number one.
28-year-old in the Premier League is like a 26-year-old. You know, he goes over there and he'll have a lot more longevity in the game because of the style of football. We're backed into a little bit of a corner because I want to explore this opportunity. I feel like I've won everything I possibly time there, and now this feels like the right chance. Huge club. Let's get to the latter stages of the Champions League, and this is a fresh opportunity for me and a fresh chance. So, yeah, one to keep an eye on. He was with the team, but now it's our understanding he'll be travelling to take that medical and put the finishing touches to that deal. But yeah, huge departure and a player that was really popular with the fans as well.
Gyokeres wonder goal, absent players, embarrassed Saka, 4 things spotted in Arsenal training. Here are 4 things we spotted in Arsenal's open training session at Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong on Wednesday. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal side have just taken part in an open training session at Kai Tak Stadium on the eve of their preseason friendly against Tottenham. Thursday's game in Hong Kong is the last one of Arsenal's tour of the Far East. It has been a very successful tour so far, as the Gunners have recorded 1-0 and 3-2 wins over AC Milan and Newcastle United respectively. The North London club will now be looking to get one over their rivals and secure another victory before heading back to London on Friday. Arsenal's training session proved to be very popular in Hong Kong, with a big crowd turning up for the event. All eyes were on Victor Gyokeres ahead of his potential Arsenal debut against Tottenham after finally completing his move from Sporting CP last weekend. Watch Victor Gyokeres score screamer in Arsenal preseason training. Arsenal press conference live, Mikel Arteta on Victor Gyokeres' debut, injury news and Tottenham. So what exactly happened in training? Football. London runs you through 4 things that happened in the session below. Gyokeres is a very popular figure indeed, if the crowd reaction at Kai Tak Stadium is anything to go by. The Swede was beamed onto the big screen inside the stadium a couple of times, and it resulted in a huge cheer from those in attendance. Fans were desperate to see the new signing up close and personal, and also see him show his quality in front of goal by finding the back of the net time after time. He did net on a couple of occasions, and one in particular resulted in a big gasp from the fans as his curling effort nestled in the top corner of the goal. Gabriel Magalhaes and Jurrien Timber have yet to take to the pitch for Arsenal in Asia as they step up their recovery from injury. Arteta did mention ahead of last week's game against Newcastle that he was hopeful that the duo could return to training and play again in the final week of the tour. Timber was involved in the team's last training session in Singapore, and he was again involved at Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong. However, that was not the case for Gabriel. There was also no Ricardo Calafiori after he came off early in the second half of the win over Newcastle. It probably comes as no surprise to see why Arteta elected to play Mikel Merino up front at times last season in Arsenal's hour of need. A tall player who is also powerful, the Spaniard does have an eye for finding the back of the net. In the 11A side game against the coaching team, Merino demonstrated his goal-scoring ability once again with a couple of stunning strikes. Firstly, finding the top corner with a superb curling effort after finding a yard of space. He then connected with a long ball over the top and saw a left-footed volley strike the bottom of the post before smashing in the rebound. Arteta does have options in attack now following the signing of Gyokeres, but he knows Merino can more than play his part there if it comes to it this season. There was one moment towards the end of training where Bukayo Saka looked rather embarrassed after missing a glorious chance on goal. The England international was free at the back post a matter of yards out, but he could only blaze his attempt high over the target. Fans couldn't believe his miss, and the reaction from them said everything. Unfortunately for Saka, it was picked up on the big screen and he soon realized that for himself as he took a glance up. He had a wry smile on his face at that point and could only laugh about the situation. Hopefully there's no repeat in Thursday's North London derby. Saga takes twist as Crystal Palace boss makes worrying claim. Arsenal have shifted their focus to Gyokeres after finally completing the signing of Victor Gyokeres, with the Gunners hoping to get a deal done for around £60 million. Oliver Glasner has pleaded with the Crystal Palace board not to sell any of their star players such as Gyokeres, warning that it could derail their season. 27, is wanted by Arsenal, who've made him their priority as we approach the final month of the summer transfer window. Mark Gahey is also being linked with a move to Liverpool, who are understood to be the frontrunners after the Palace captain entered the final 12 months of his contract. Liverpool are also keen on another Eagles player. Adam Wharton has been targeted for next summer, although Tottenham would be willing to sign the midfielder this year. Meanwhile, is tied down until 2027 but has a £68 million release clause. Arsenal, who've spent £194 million so far, are hoping to do a deal for less than that, reportedly around £60 million, but one which has incentives for Palace. Mirror Football understands that the Gunners opened talks over a move for the England international towards the end of June. Now that they've completed the £63.7 million signing of top target Victor Gyokeres, Arsenal are focused on ease. But Glasner has told Palace that they'd be putting themselves in danger of repeating their false start from last term if they sell their key players. Victor Gyokeres' former manager gives honest verdict on £63.7 million Arsenal transfer. Arsenal star offered immediate escape route after refusing to sign new contract. Speaking to Austrian newspaper Kronen Zeitung during their preseason tour, the Eagles boss bemoaned Palace's lack of activity in the market, having only spent £3 million on a backup goalkeeper and a left back. That's despite them qualifying for Europe thanks to winning the FA Cup coupled with the interest in Gahey, Wharton and Ease. Even though all the players are still here, we haven't made the most of the transfer window so far, an irked Glasner admitted. I was promised that we would be more active and bring in the new players earlier this year. As of now, I have 17 outfield players. I hope we don't lose any more. If that happens and we get 4 new ones on deadline day like last year, another false start is possible. Palace's business has suffered from the fact they still don't know which European competition they'll be playing in next season. Glasner's side were demoted from the Europa League to the Conference League after being found to have breached UEFA's multi-club ownership rules, a decision which they've since appealed.